It is the 23rd of April, 1941. A formation of 20 Bf-109s is providing escort to a group of Stukas high above the arid landscapes of North Africa. Among the pilots is a young man at the beginning of what promises to be a remarkable career. Yes, it is once more Hans-Joachim Marseille. As he scans the skies, he identifies a flight of enemy Hawker Hurricanes positioned below. True to his bold nature, he dives into the fray without hesitation, leaving his squadron bewildered as their leading pilot plunges into action without a word. Marseille accelerates into peril, displaying a complete disregard for his own safety. Pushing his 109 to its limits, he prepares to take aim at the swiftly approaching adversaries and fires. A barrage of 20mm rounds streaks through the air, but fails to hit its target. As he zooms past the enemy, they scatter in response. Although slightly frustrated by his uncharacteristic inaccuracy, he remains undeterred and circles back for another assault. However, the Hurricanes are not easily subdued. 3 of them pursue Marseille, unleashing a torrent of fire from their combined 24-7.7mm machine guns, creating a veritable storm of bullets and tracer rounds directed at the German aircraft. Marseille executes a series of evasive maneuvers, skillfully dodging the incoming fire as rounds impact his plane, narrowly escaping their aim. A smile crosses Marseille's face. Engaging in aerial combat is far more exhilarating than ambush tactics. He continues to twist and turn at breakneck speeds, leaving the Hurricane pilots struggling to keep pace with him. He skillfully evades their gunfire, outmaneuvering them at every opportunity as he leaves the Hurricanes increasingly behind. All but one, the 3rd Hurricane, closely pursues him, mirroring Marseille's every action and unleashing a barrage of machine gun fire upon his 109. Soon, Marseille finds himself engaged in a one-on-one confrontation with all other adversaries left in his wake. He executes rapid maneuvers, attempting every tactic to shake off the Hurricane. Yet the relentless foe anticipates his every move. As if reading his thoughts in the midst of their aerial struggle, a scissor maneuver unfolds, with the 2 aircraft weaving through the sky. Each pilot strives to target their opponent while avoiding the other's lethal line of fire, soaring past one another at dangerously close distances. They engage in a deadly aerial dance, both waiting for the other to make a critical error. Then, Marseille falters as he charges toward the enemy. He realizes he has ventured too far ahead and is about to cross directly into the Hurricane's line of fire. A wave of dread washes over him. It is far too late to rectify his course. Time seems to stretch as his 109 inexorably approaches the Hurricane's guns. He ducks instinctively in his seat, contemplating this could be the end. The Hurricane seizes the moment, opening fire on the passing German aircraft. Last month, only 1 in 4 viewers of our channel was a subscriber. We encourage you to like and comment on the video, and please subscribe to help us reach 1 million subscribers. Thank you. Marseille is struck. The initial rounds impact the engine, followed by the cockpit. Bullets shatter the canopy, exiting through the opposite side. The gunfire tears through the remainder of the 109's tail as the Hurricane speeds past. Marseille awakens, astonished to find himself alive. However, his survival may be short-lived, as he senses his aircraft is losing power, and the noxious air, thick with oil and coolant, assaults his senses. He glances over his shoulder and observes the Hurricane circling back for another attack. Could it be that Hans-Joachim Marseille The young ace, renowned for his audacious engagements against overwhelming odds and his seemingly effortless victories, has finally met his match. With his aircraft damaged and a formidable adversary at the controls of the enemy plane, Marseille does something unprecedented. He acknowledges his defeat. He inverts his aircraft and enters a steep dive, accelerating towards the safety of his airfield, before his opponent can deliver the final blow. From the cockpit of the Hurricane, the pilot watches as his target retreats. Although he could pursue and likely secure the kill, the rest of his squadron is engaged in combat with other German fighters, prompting him to accept the modest victory and rush to assist his comrades. James Denis. Second encounter. His name is James Denis. The two adversaries would cross paths once more just a month later. Denis and his wingman are flying at low altitude near Tobruk, engaged in a strafing mission against advancing German supply columns. After a moment of relentless bombardment, Denis takes a moment to check on his wingman, only to be met with a terrifying sight. A Bf-109 is diving from the sky, targeting his comrade, with 5 additional 109s following closely behind. It is Marseille. Without a radio, Denis is powerless to intervene as Marseille ruthlessly dismantles his wingman, the wreckage spiraling downwards. The assailant accelerates towards Denis, but curiously, not directly at him. Denis perceives Marseille's overconfidence. Recognizing Marseille's excessive confidence, Denis maintains his position, feigning ignorance of the 109 in an effort to prompt the German pilot to let his guard down. Marseille, taking the bait, continues on with the intention of breezing past the French pilot without concern. Seizing the opportunity, Denis strikes. The Hurricane accelerates in pursuit, executing a sharp turn to close the distance. The aircraft reacts violently, protesting under the high G-forces as he aligns himself on a collision course with the 109, hurtling directly towards its flank. Marseille notices the threat at the last moment and hastily attempts to maneuver and fire, but he is too late. A barrage of tracer rounds erupts from the Hurricane, tearing into the 109's fuselage before Denis speeds past his target. Recovering from the initial shock, Marseille quickly turns to give chase. An intense dogfight ensues between the Bf-109 and the Hurricane. He pursues the Frenchman, yet Denis skillfully evades the 109's lethal aim, climbing while executing a turn. The German aircraft follows closely, locking the two into yet another aerial duel across the sky. They twist and turn, ascending higher as they engage in a breathtaking and perilous dance. Neither pilot manages to secure a shot, each anticipating the other's moves with remarkable precision. This confrontation pits youthful fervor and vigor against seasoned strategic experience, with both pilots exhibiting nearly equal skill. While Marseille adeptly avoids the Hurricane's fire, he struggles to position himself for a counterattack. However, during a maneuver, the morning sun suddenly blinds him, sparking an idea. He breaks away from the engagement and heads directly towards the sun on the horizon. Marseille attempts to outwit his adversary. Denis, however, is not deceived. He recognizes the tactic being employed, yet he remains undeterred. He pursues with the sun glaring in his eyes, chasing Marseille, almost entirely blind. The Hurricane relentlessly pursues the 109, gradually closing the distance. Denis is unable to see anything, yet he is acutely aware that Marseille is nearby. Suddenly, the 109 completely obscures the sun, lifting the metaphorical blindfold from Denis's eyes and revealing a massive target. With precision, Denis pulls the trigger. The The Hurricane's 8 machine guns unleash a torrent of bullets directed at the 109, the airframe resonating with the sound of impacts. In mere fractions of a second, the fuselage of the 109 is torn apart. Igniting a fire, Marseille attempts to evade the onslaught, but the damage is already inflicted, and a long trail of flames erupts from his aircraft as he accelerates toward the ground. Denis chooses not to pursue, leaving the 109 to its grim fate. Marseille maintains his dive, resolute in his decision not to eject. He cuts the engine and angles his nose as steeply as he dares, reaching and then exceeding the 109's maximum safe speed. With unwavering concentration, he endures the violent shaking of his aircraft, which threatens to break apart under the immense pressure. He glances at his wings, noticing the flames that are on the verge of being extinguished by the rushing wind. Just a moment longer. He continues the dive, bravely facing the rapidly approaching ground. In a miraculous turn of events, the fire diminishes. Marseille pulls up, pressed into his seat by the intense GA forces, narrowly escaping with his life. He looks back, searching for the identity of his unseen attacker, but finds only clear skies. Rather than feeling anger, he can only admire the skill of a fellow pilot who bested him fairly. Marseille would manage to return his damaged aircraft home and promptly rejoin the fray. He lived each day as if it were his last, exhibiting a lack of discipline on the ground while showcasing remarkable skill in the air. His unconventional approach would propel him further than the composed and strategic Denis could ever aspire to, culminating in 158 victories and the prestigious Knight's Cross with oak leaves, swords, and diamonds. Denis, too, would achieve a notable career, returning home with 21 victories and the Legion Donner adorning his neck. However, he remains significantly overshadowed, with his encounters with Marseille merely a footnote in the German's illustrious narrative. Regardless of his accolades, Colonel James Denis will eternally be remembered as the individual who triumphed over the Star of Africa. Not just once, but on 2 occasions. Explore the Aces collection at yarnhubstore.com today.